South China Morning Post, 6 April 2024, Beijing warns of threats to Chinese sovereignty in the Indo-Pacific as China and the United States resume military safety discussions. China has engaged in assertive and hegemonic conduct on a global scale, which has prompted a backlash against its illegitimate entitlements. Candid and constructive discussions between Chinese and American military officials resumed this week, but the Chinese Ministry of Defense warned on Saturday that Beijing will continue to respond to sovereignty threats in the Indo-Pacific. The discussions in Hawaii on Wednesday and Thursday were the first of their kind in over 2 years. They were organized under the auspices of the U.S.-China Military Maritime Consultative Agreement, MMCA, working group. They included representatives from the Pacific Fleet, Pacific Air Forces, and the People's Liberation Army. According to the ministry, the meeting's purpose was to promote the sustainable, stable, and healthy development of military relations between the two nations. Both parties engaged in candid and constructive dialogue regarding the present maritime and air security situation between the United States and China based on mutual respect and equality, the statement continued. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command stated that the two delegations discussed safety-related events that had transpired in recent years and how the countries could prevent unintended collisions. The Pentagon released footage in October purporting to show Chinese fighter warplanes engaging in high-speed approaches to American aircraft while emitting flares and chaff. Officials have assessed the implementation of the Code for Unplanned Encounters at Sea since the previous MMCA meeting in 2021. The working group's annual meetings were suspended in 2022 following a visit to Taiwan by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi of the United States. Beijing considers Taiwan a part of China that could be reunited by force if necessary. Although most nations, including the United States, do not recognize Taiwan as an independent state, Washington is committed to arming the self-governing island and opposes any attempt to seize it by force. A resolution was reached in November of the previous year when U.S. Vice President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping mutually consented to recommence military consultations. The Chinese ministry reported that during this week's discussions in Honolulu, China affirmed its dedication to advancing regional peace, stability, and prosperity while also emphasizing concerns regarding sovereignty and security. The Chinese delegation emphasized that national security and the safety of ships and aircraft are inextricably linked. China firmly opposes any actions that, under the guise of freedom of navigation and overflight, compromise China's sovereignty and security. The ministry stated, the PLA will continue to respond to any provocative and dangerous actions by applicable laws and regulations to protect its maritime interests. After U.S. Delegation Chief Colonel Ian Francis of the Indo-Pacific Command stated that the United States would continue to operate in the region to the extent that international law permits, the warning was issued. Francis stated that the MMCA working group was the primary means by which the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command communicated with the PLA regarding air and maritime operational safety. He expressed optimism regarding the PLA's adherence to its obligations to the MMCA working group and anticipated further fruitful dialogues to ensure the security of our military personnel stationed in the area. In the meantime, on Saturday, the defense chiefs of the United States, Japan, Australia, and the Philippines issued a joint statement announcing that the countries would execute a full-scale joint naval exercise in the South China Sea for the first time. They declared that the maritime cooperative activity would demonstrate a collective commitment to strengthen regional and international cooperation in support of a free and open Indo-Pacific by taking place on Sunday.